What is going on, everybody? Dan Snyder here with Raivis Media Team, bringing you some more coverage from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're at the 2024 Charlotte Roar, and I'm joined by Tournament Director Raivis Markons-Craig. What's going on, Raivis?
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, Dan. I am so excited for everyone to see some Charlotte Roar footage. We are back after a little bit of a hiatus, but we have a lot more subscribers, so get ready, folks.
Yeah, and huge thanks to some of our sponsors here, Discmania, Disc Golf 978, first available print, providing some added cash to this 35 MPO field. And here we are looking at some of the scores. Josiah Barhite coming in with a hot 10 down. I think that came in at just over 1050, Raivis?
Yeah, absolute scorcher by my man Josiah Barhite. He came in hot. He played aggressive the first round. Let's see if he continues that in the second round here. And then we have the lead card. We have Zach Peters, who's probably one of the best amateurs you've never heard of yet. We have Paul Ulibarri, who's back on the channel, but for the first time ever on the MPO lead card for us. We have Bradley Hendrick, who's a YouTube star. I just found out tonight. My goodness. And he's an absolute shredder, shooting a 10.28 first round. And then there we go, Josiah Barhite, who you are going to see some fireworks from him. He is a great player. And I learned a few things about him, and we'll talk about that during the round. Anything you notice about that lead card, Dan?
I mean, it's Uncle Paul just taking his kids out to the disc golf course for the first time, if you ask me. I mean...
Well, he was a little upset that he didn't get to play the second round, being the long round, because we were short on time. That's one of the key notes here. But you know, no lead is safe in the rain. Paul is a veteran, so we're going to see if he's going to be able to give Josiah Barhite some pressure. He only has a 3-stroke lead on Bradley Hendrick, Josiah, and then Ulibarri has he's a 5-stroke deficit from Josiah. But anything can happen at Angry Beaver. It's one of the most technical and most difficult tracks in Charlotte. I love this freaking course.
Yeah, Charlotte known for its tight wooded fairways, tight wooded gaps. Definitely have to bring your A game and be confident in what you're throwing. And right out the gate, this is what this course is going to offer you. A tight fairway, so you can maybe spray it a little bit, but as you get up to the fairway, you need to be precise.
And because it's the same layout, people are going to be able to just kind of shoot the same shots, maybe improve a little bit here and there.
And here we have Josiah, our leader, stepping up to hole one. What is he throwing here, Raivis?
He's going to be throwing his T-birds a lot and buzzes a lot. I believe this is going to be his T-bird. He's just going to throw something a little gentle right down the middle. That is the key for Angry Beaver. Just down the middle. Don't try to bite too much off the tee. You can go OB. We haven't talked about the out of bounds on the left-hand side. That's why everyone's really trying to stay in the middle there.
I'd rather err on the side of caution. I'd rather be in the trees than out of bounds.
Yeah, and Paul actually wanted to be really safe, and he unfortunately got a really nasty kick. We'll see if he's able to recover from that. That's going to be a really tricky par save.
And last but not least, we have Zach, who originally looked beautiful, but catching that late guardian tree on the right side, kicking him off into the Charlotte Unknown.
Charlotte Unknown. He's going to have an odd look to save his birdie or par. That was his rock 3 off the tee. Here is Yuli. This is what you from that spot.
If that doesn't sum it up for you, Raivis, just laugh off the bad shots. Scramble as best you can. Yuli, a vet. He knows how to shake shots off.
He was by far in one of the worst spots on the course for hole 1, and he unfortunately got the result that what most people get. And Bradley Hendrick, whoa.
Beautiful turnover line from Bradley.
Yeah, I love that. And he's starting to throw a little aggressive already. I love it. And here's
chasing 3 shots, you kind of have to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Josiah's going aggressive here. You could tell he's trying to go for the green there. I believe that was his buzz.
The T-birds, buzzes, perfect recipe for a 10-down round.
A 10.53 round.
Simplify your bag, everybody.
And that was like his career best round. One of the last tournaments of the season. One of the best performances. And Yuli's going to have a lot of work to do just to save his par on hole 1, 503 feet.
Yeah, Zach going with the easy-to-do play with the fall off behind the basket, just laying up. What a way to start off. Now I'm going to try to run it. He's not going to change his game plan.
Yeah, you're going to see Josiah Barhite has an interesting game plan. He is one of the most aggressive putters, but one of the safest drive off the tee players you'll ever see. So he has a nice balance, but on the green, I've never seen anything like it.
Uli cashing in for his 4. That's a great 4.
That is a great 4. How do you save that? I mean, if you watch the first round coverage from the Charlotte Roar 2024 footage, we have that on our channel. Make sure to check that out. Uli actually saved a birdie from that same exact spot that he was off the tee on that right side. I can't believe he was able to save the birdie, but here, this was just a classic 4-putt save. He's a really good putter, one of the best in the world.
I mean, always at the top in terms of C1 putting, C1X putting. So anytime he's inside the circle, it's almost a guaranteed make. That's one Bradley's going to want back.
This whole average 3.9, so it's not a gimme. I actually thought it was going to average a little more difficult, and that was for round 1. Let's see, for round 2, it averaged the same exact average. So that's very interesting stats there. Here is hole 2, 290 feet, par 3. The drone is going to take this right-hand side because it's the hyzer play, but there is a left-hand side, kind of choose your own adventure style John Huck special here. And if you have a forehand, you can take that left-hand side, but there's always a sneaky late tree that you might hit. And that's why players more often go to the right side here.
Yeah, looking at it from the tee pad, it kind of looks like the right side is the side you're going to want to take to get to the green more easily. You have a tighter gap off the tee. This left side looking a little more inviting, but maybe tougher to access.
You'll see Uli here has a perfect drive.
Like, you throw a great shot, and it gets robbed.
Yeah, that was his nuke, and he's been throwing his nuke pretty much off the tee for hole 1 and hole 2 here. You can see he's a little upset there.
Yeah, Zach maybe getting over on that one just a little bit, catching that late tree.
Yeah, he took his felon there, and here is Bradley Hendrick with his taco. He got
a what now?
The taco. My man throws the wildest disc. He's like Iceberg TV out there, Iceberg Dylan, and because he has a YouTube channel, I just checked it out, and he has like a new video every week, and he has a very cool eclectic bag, and he's thrown the taco there, which is this I haven't really heard too much about.
I don't even know who makes that. I know a decent amount of frisbees.
Maybe it's AGL. Maybe well, it's probably Clash actually.
let us know down in the comments.
Yeah,
who makes that disc?
Yeah, well, Bradley Hendrick is a very good player. I mean, he did shoot a 10-30 round first round, so that was one of
nothing to be scoffed at all.
One of the best performances, and he's trying to back it up here with Uli on his card.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry, Josiah. We didn't mean to interrupt.
Wow.
Do you do that often?
That's just to start the second round. Hole 2. He already went for hole 1, didn't get it, but you know what? He said, I'm going to get it. What the? That is insane.
No fear. No fear in this man's game.
You know what? That's funny you say that, because I asked him, does he have any putting tips for any of the viewers out there? Ooh. Yeah, that's an aggressive play by Zach Peterson. He went felon. That's crazy. I think he really thought he was going to throw that in, but there's a par save for Uli. And going back to Josiah, when I had asked him, like, what are any putting tips? Let's make sure Zach saves his par. Nice par save. Oh, bogey. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess he did hit early. And he said, don't be afraid. What are you scared of? There's nothing to be scared of. You just go for it.
Yeah, if you're confident in your putt and you're not afraid of the comebacker, there's no reason not to be aggressive and go for everything.
I love that advice, and it truly works if you're really not nervous about that OB roll or whatever. Sometimes you just have to go for it. I always think there's a balance in disc golf. But anyways, here's hole 3, 230 feet uphill, par 3. Very good hole, very scoreable hole, but there's a lot of OB. Players got to watch out. And I think Josiah just found it,
It
unfortunately.
looks like he found his first OBE. On paper, averaging amongst the easiest in round 2 with just under 2.5. So you step up to this hole thinking, all right, well, this is a must get, right? And it adds a little bit of pressure. You get a little tense, and you can make mistakes.
Yeah, you can see Yuli got a little pressured there, and he threw his Undertaker there. Just couldn't get it there.
This is the shot shape you want. Plenty of height, great turn.
Great shot by Bradley Hendrick there. That was his rock. That's his specialty. He loves the turnover, sometimes flat or Anheuser release, and he just dials this in. I love this camera view by Grant Latten, too.
With a little bit of hyzer, let it flip up, let it ride, even right a little bit, and just dead straight. It's a point and shoot, and it's a great disc to have.
It is, and not enough people have that disc in their bag, and everyone should have something like that. And speaking of having a really good disc and throw, how about Zach Peters with the tune here? My goodness, what a good angle there.
I was a tomb thrower back in the day, and
Oh,
they
yeah?
are fantastic frisbees. They go straight. And now that all 4 of our competitors have teed off, we can confidently say there was one ace on the day on this hole.
That is awesome. Who was it, Dan?
Clay Edwards.
He got his ace. Why couldn't he get that in the first round?
It's those camera jitters, Raivis.
I
Everybody gets
know.
them.
Hey, speaking of jitters, I think Josiah just got his first bogey of the tournament, Dan.
First little bit of adversity for our leader, but he still has a 5-shot lead as of right now. So
yeah, he's still killing it. And here's Bradley for his birdie. Yeah, I love his attitude. He's sponsored by Chain Reaction Disc. Just happy to see him kill it on coverage here at the Charlotte Roar. We had $1,000 added cash. Oof, speaking of cash, nice birdie by Zach Peters there. And it's only going to get bigger. This year, we're going to make $1,500. Make sure to tune in. It always happens at the end of December. We're going to keep it like that just because it's easier for the scheduling. And October just gets too busy. There's just too many tournaments in October, Dan.
yeah, especially in the Charlotte area alone, you usually have to compete with that of USDGC. Sometimes when the Tour Championship comes down there, it does get saturated, and moving it to closer to the end of the year gives everybody that last opportunity to sneak in that last rated round before the new year.
Absolutely. One of the best holes of the course. Here's hole 4, downhill, 304 feet. Bradley Hendrick's got the tee here. Let's see what he throws. Beautiful shot by Bradley. Oh my goodness. Now that was his rock too. Wow. Absolute
Never in doubt.
dime.
Like I said, that little hyzer release, little bit of hyzer, let it flip up to flat, and just let gravity take over.
Yeah, I
So
really
good.
love his game, and you can see why he did well at Angry Beaver, because he's got that straight shot dialed in. And here's Zach Peters with the hammer throw. Oh,
You go into that overhand again, and sometimes it works, sometimes you throw out of bounds.
yeah. So that's a premise at this course. There's a recurring theme of the creek side being OB, and it comes into play on a few holes, and this is one of them, unfortunately. And it comes into play a lot more than people want it to, because that's where they just trickle down. Sometimes it just rolls right into the water. It's really annoying.
Yeah, camera never really does it justice. This does place.
And here's Josiah. Yeah, hitting the freaking gap. That's all he wanted. That was his link. What a beautiful shot.
You throw out of bounds your previous hole. You want to step up with a nice drive. He does.
Oh, absolutely. That was a great shot with his link. And oh my goodness, where is Yuli? I've never seen that part of the hole.
Not out of bounds. He's not out of bounds, but he's in danger.
That was jail. Absolute jail. And Zach Peters is going to be throwing from his out of bounds spot. That's the best spot he can find. Looking for a bogey save there. And there's Yuli's upshot. He's also going to be getting a bogey. This hole played hard. I'm going to have to check out the averages here.
Yeah, on a hole that played just.
Oh my! What?
Yeah, I'm out. It's only hole 4. I'm out.
That's 2 already.
Give him the trophy. Just give it to him.
Gosh. Well, don't say yet, damn. My gosh, but like.
No, a lot of golf to be played, but the way this guy's playing, what do you want me to say?
That is, I mean, I'll be honest. If somebody did that at a course at hole 4, and I've already seen 2 bangers, I'd say the same thing. It's over. But
Josiah
hopefully there's a lot more golf left. Yeah, that is
extending his lead not only with the birdie but with bogeys behind him. I mean, on a hole that everybody's struggling on. I mean, minus Bradley here, he's closer than Josiah was. But on a hole where you're looking at 2 bogeys ahead of you and you bang that putt, oh, Bradley.
Yeah, you can't be missing that, Bradley. Oh, I think he just got a little big putted there. That was a little weird. But you do have Yuli. You have Yuli in the picture. You have Yuli in the picture watching every putt that you're taking. So you know.
But Yuli didn't big putt him. You're not getting big putted by you. You're getting big putted by the leader. Yeah. So that's one thing to get nervous about. But you got to have those. Got to have those.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sure that Bradley's not too happy, but he's shaking it off because that was for his birdie. So that at least he didn't bleed too many strokes on that missed putt.
Stings a little less than a bogey, but it feels like a bogey.
Absolutely. And ready for some bogeys. Hole 5, one of the hardest holes on the course, averaging 4.05. I'm actually shocked that it only averaged 4.05. It is a left to right turning shot, and then you have to go down the tunnel and then make sure you avoid these trees near the green. No out of bounds in play, but just a tough track unless you're Josiah and you just absolutely pure this drive with your buzz. Wow.
That didn't leave the center of the fairway. And
no, that was beautiful.
I mean, lefty advantage maybe, with being able to flip it up and get some more carry out of it, but still impressive. And that's what you got to do, Bradley, when you think you throw a good shot and it gets punished. You got to laugh it off.
You really do. I mean, that was a really unfortunate kick. And another unfortunate kick also for Zach Peters. I swear, he's struggling off the tee, folks, but he's a very good player. He's a very controlled player, almost 1,000 rated. I'm surprised that he's not getting more birdie looks right now. I know he's a little frustrated. What a beautiful shot by Yuli, and that was his Manta. Wow. Got a little knockdown in the middle, but he should be able to save his par or birdie.
Yeah, I think that kind of helped Yuli more than it hurt his drive. He was high, he was turning, but when those higher speed discs start to fade out, fortunate enough to hit a tree to knock it down because he could have faded into something nasty.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Zach didn't pitch out there. He's not really known to pitch out. He's an aggressive player. We already saw that shot on hole 2 where he ran that basket, remember? And there's Bradley. I think Bradley was throwing his Sentinel off the tee. He really likes that.
What are these discs, Raivis?
Dude, I'm pulling it out from his YouTube. I had to look it up. Go check him out. He is putting out a lot of videos. And Yuli with a fantastic upshot and getting a little robbed, unfortunately. That's the theme on this hole. I feel like it's just so hard to penetrate down there and get a birdie opportunity.
Well, no problem for Zach here. I mean, throwing up a little higher, being late December, not a lot of leaves, most of them on the ground. So you get those higher gaps, those higher gaps in the trees, and he takes advantage of it. And Josiah here, just the touch,
the buzz,
so pretty,
the link, just so effortless for this guy. Look at this.
The advantage of being able to throw those slower speed discs into these fairways, Raivis. You can throw with a little more control, and they react accordingly.
But that was like textbook. He didn't touch anything other than just the fairway.
What a bid from Bradley there.
Yeah,
though.
Bradley, that was a nice bid there with his pure, I think. And Yuli's just gonna have to take his par, which is fine. I just love this course so far. Dan, you've never played here. What are your thoughts on Angry Beaver so far?
It's what I think of when you talk about Charlotte disc golf. It's tight, it's demanding. You're gonna have you might be looking at similar shots, but you need to have a lot of shots in your bag to excel. You need to, and like I said, you need to be able to control those slower speed discs that don't waver off the fairway too much. You want to have those types of shots in your bag that you can rely on. When you're not hitting your gaps properly, this course is going to punish you, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, and it does allow you to kind of throw everything in your bag. I kind of do love that. And here is Yuli for his par save, one of the best Circle 1 putters in the world, along with Matt Bell. We actually have coverage of Yuli and Matt Bell playing a skins match from December as well at Dry Creek. Make sure to check that out on our channel. Man, we have a lot of good stuff on our channel, Dan, lately.
A lot of great content coming down the pipeline, Raivis. I mean, you open it up to the Charlotte area, and they come in droves. They love their disc golf down here, and they're happy to contribute.
Yeah, no, it's awesome seeing more pros on the channel, at least the bigger name pros, and also some of the local pros. That's what we've been doing, homegrown material for a while here. Hole 6, 329 feet, par 3, one of my favorite turnover shots, or forehand shot. It's a little tricky with the forehand because you have to really kind of make it move fast and then have it fade pretty fast as well and avoid this big tree right in the middle.
And here we got Josiah throwing the same disc he threw on the hole previous, not getting the same result, but making it far enough down the fairway that a scramble shouldn't be out of play.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't realize that as a lefty, that would have been like the same exact line, I feel like, for him. And same for Yuli. This is a very similar shot shape for hole 5 and hole 6 here. This is his manta. Look at this beautiful drive. He just knows exactly where that disc is going to start turning right there, which is what he needed.
Yeah, putting enough hyzer on it to let it ride out straight until, like you said, he knows the breaking point of it and how much torque he can put on it so it turns properly. Very easy to overdo it and turn it over into the crap on the right there.
Yeah, exactly. No OB on this one, this particular hole, but Bradley Hendrick, he's going to be throwing his Sentinel again, I believe, and just landing straight. He's going to be right there. He still have a look. This is averaging 3.14, which is just shocking to me. I don't understand why this averaged 3.14, but whatever.
Yeah, for sure. There you go.
Let me ask you something, Raivis. So you get a hole like this that you said no OB. Do you like relying on just the natural way the course grows to dictate OB? Because I've seen a lot of courses where they start to put artificial OB even inside of the woods, so you're kind of getting punished twice. So what are some of your thoughts on that?
It depends on the shot, right? Like if you're coming to like a roadway, obviously you're gonna need some OB. But if you're like dead center in the woods, ooh, good look there. Like this hole, absolutely not needed, right? It's a natural element in terms of if you hit early, you're gonna be punished. You're gonna have a very hard scramble. And I think if the hole is long enough, then you don't really need out of bounds.
Hey, birdie from you
Circle
there.
1 man of the year right there. Jeez. It's nice to see him get a birdie, though, like for real. It's been a while. Actually, the first one of the round, and he's sitting at -5 or -6 right now. Now, if you want to step it up and you want to create more separation between the field, then I think that's where the game is heading towards, but it's not necessary, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And here is hole 7, one of my favorite shots, a dead straight shot. Every course should have this one. Again, you don't need out of bounds on this one because it's already a really good disc golf shot, right? And it's a 330-foot dead straight shot where you could throw a mid-range or a putter. And I would really love to see some ace runs on this one because every time I step up to this one, I'm thinking mid-range ace run with a slight hyzer.
So you show up to this hole on a casual round. How many discs are you throwing?
At least
this looks like a
three.
hole you can empty your bag on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pick like 5 or 6 discs out of your bag that you can do exactly what you just did there.
Oh, whoa!
What is he mad about?
I think it's rolling. I think the cameraman is still looking, and that's what he was a little upset about. But that was spectacular. Look at this line, just straight on the right-hand side, which is the only ace line that you really have. Yeah,
it did hit the basket.
Yeah,
I didn't think it did.
King, that's $5.
Maybe that's what he was mad about.
Yeah, that's $5. You can hear the camera catch cam getting really excited about that too. I love that. It's hard not to get excited after really good throws like that. I mean, that was almost an ace in front of all of us.
I mean, Yulia with an almost ace, and then Josiah just stepping up saying, all right, Grandpa, move along. It's my turn now.
Yeah.
And he just answers. And what an answer he had.
Well, it's funny that you say that Grandpa comment because, Josiah threw his link and Yuli threw his buzz. So that just shows you, but the touch there was really beautiful on both those plays. I really admire good shots on this hole.
And Zach just choosing the fairway off to the right side in the woods that, doesn't exist, but they don't ask how. Just how many?
He got up there. That was his rock 3. It flew straight. That was just a really good shot. I love his game. He's he just reached 1,000. Oh my gosh, that was close. He just reached 1,000 rated this past week, Dan. Zach Peters. So shout out to him.
Good for him.
I mean, as an amateur, he hasn't accepted cash yet. So I mean, he is one of the best rated amateurs out there. So watch out and make sure to keep an eye on him when he is at the World Championships for the Amateur World Championships this year.
Yeah, probably be his last year. I mean, not to speculate. He'll be his last year as an amateur for sure. I mean, saving up those points, saving up that amateur status to play Worlds again. Mm-hmm. And then he'll be ready for MPO soon. I mean, he's on an MPO lead card.
Yeah, a lot of birdies there. Yeah, and performing really well with that birdie there. 331 feet that one was. And this one's 505 feet. This one's all about placement. You got to land right around here so you have sort of a look to dance around the trees, either from the left or right side, from the fairway, looking back there. And it's a tough green, but also very straightforward green in terms of as long as you're in the right landing spot. You're going to see Yuli's going to be taking his nuke here. Very good play for him. Very standard textbook forehand play for him.
Yeah, kind of a stock hyzer flip shot that you need in the woods. Get a little more power from the forehand. And just being able to see the gap the entire time, throwing the forehand just makes it that much of an easier shot. Not that shot's easy by any means. He makes it look easy, but definitely the advantage with a comfortable forehand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tree right in the middle of the fairway. You can tell right there. So you kind of have to just forget about that like he did. And Josiah, unfortunately, getting a very bad kick. He's going to have a lot of work to do to save his par. He's only suffered one bogey this whole entire tournament. So hopefully he doesn't get another one here. And Zach Peters is getting an unfortunate kick, but he's down in the middle. He should be able to save his par or birdie. Same thing with Bradley Hendrick there.
Yeah, the early kick doesn't help Josiah here, but looking like he has enough of a gap to at least make some progress. And that's, if you're early on a long par 4, that's all you want to do for recovery shots, is just make progress and put yourself in position.
Oh, absolutely. And he's going to have so much work to do, but he's actually probably 300 feet away. And oh my gosh, what a shot by Bradley.
What a flex.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what disc here.
Don't ask me what disc that was, because I really don't. I might be his Firebird. I don't know, but that was money.
Whatever disc it was the disc he needed for that shot. That was something shot. Else.
Yep. And he claimed it. He owned it. That was just, he knew exactly what he needed to do there. And that's what pros do. I love watching people that know exactly what they're going to throw when they walk up here. Just like this roller play. Rolo, I think, by Zach Peters here.
What a play. You see forehand rollers a lot in the woods, but you don't see the backhand roller, especially with the amount of airspace it normally requires. That was something else.
Yeah, that was spectacular. I really liked that shot. Meanwhile, Josiah is lurking to save his par as well. What
The
a
fact that
shot.
Josiah has a par look is impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
he was in jail.
He was so far back. That was great. Oh, Zach, no, don't get upset. I feel like Zach just needs to learn that patent pending backhand turnover shot, and then he'll be 10-20 rated.
And I think what I thought you were about to say was needs to learn that those shots are like those low percentage shots are low percentage for a reason. They are difficult.
They are, absolutely. But the thing is, he's a good scrambler. So it's like, I think he just has the confidence. I think he just needs to do it a different way. That's all. So.
Ooh, and a confident bid on that putt. So, no, you're absolutely right, Raivis. Like the more repetition you get, the more practice you get at it, it just makes you a better player.
Yep.
And Josiah just par.
Wow. Yeah, not a birdie, but a par, and
he just played it like a par 3.
Solid par.
He basically just played a 500-foot par 3.
Yeah, that was just. I mean, he's been making these long holes look so easy, unreal, and that's how you win a tournament. Like if you can hit all those par 4s in the perfect landing spot, which he has been, if you think about it. I mean, not on this hole, but he's been doing it for the most part.
No, he's played clean. This is really the first par 4 that he hasn't been in position A off the tee. Right. He wasn't even in position D off the tee. He had to make something out of that hole.
Yeah, and Bradley, he's going to be just settling for his par, which is fine. I mean, he had a really good drive and upshot, just was a little short there. Hole 9, 333 feet, very straightforward hole. Just either go left side or right side. Most people can choose the right side because the hyzer lane has opened up over the last couple months, and as they were doing work on this hole and extending it, it's a great hole now, but we're playing the short tee here. But as you can see here, it's just you need to get it on that right side and let it flip up straight, not to the left like Uli just did with his nuke. Unfortunate there.
Well, right. So the right side gap is obvious. Am I missing something, or is there something? Is there a fairway on the left side, or is that the sucker gap?
There used to be another tree that actually made it a lot tighter, but now it is the one.
I think I see the trunk you're talking about now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's the where, all right, everybody goes to the right side, even though the left is there. Okay, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sorry. Uli went with his Punisher there. As you can tell, he needed a little more speed, and that's the key on this hole. Wow, what a beautiful shot. He likes that one.
What a recovery.
Yeah,
Uli seeing it on the catch cam replay there.
I'm so impressed by his scramble.
Doing zone things.
I'm so impressed by his scramble. I've watched now 2 tournament coverages with him and filmed 2 coverages, and I'm just totally impressed by his skill set. Yeah. Okay. Well,
headphone warning, everybody.
Yeah,
sorry.
If I'm impressed by Uli, then what the heck is going on with this guy? This is crazy. Are you kidding me, Josiah?
No fear. You said it on hole 1. You said it on hole 2.
I mean, that was just a tip for the viewers.
With his putts.
That was a tip for the viewers, not for, my goodness, his mantra for life.
I'm taking the tip now.
You should. You know what's funny about that, Dan?
That is how I become a better putter. I just watch better putters. It's plain and simple.
After watching Josiah play, I remember I had a tournament, and after I asked him about that tip, and he told me I played in a tournament. I had this 60-footer. I had to go for it because of Josiah, and of course I made it. And I was like, Josiah, you little dog.
But not to be overshadowed. Great
Yeah.
bounce back birdie from Zach there.
Yeah, he absolutely needed that. Oh, come on, Bradley. You got to make those.
He's
It's
just
okay.
been
It's
been
okay.
slightly off all day.
I think
Just
it's the
slightly
camera
off all
I
round
think
two
it's
so
the
far.
camera jitters. It's okay. But hole 9 average 2.76. So that's kind of what we saw on the field here. 2 birdies, 2 pars, and just a really good front 9. I'm really excited that we finally got to watch this coverage and kind of let everybody see how good Josiah is with these bangers. Wow.
Little putting replay, little putting montage here from Josiah. I mean, that's why he has the lead. That's why he's atop this 35 MPO player field, and we're gonna see if he can do it again on the back 9. Remember to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, all the YouTube algorithm stuff. We're happy to bring you the coverage, and we're happy to see what you guys want to see. So for Raivis, Markons-Craig, I am Dan Snyder, and we'll see you on the back 9.
Absolutely. Make sure to stay tuned. It's gonna get real here. Peace.